So if you're watching my videos and you're anything like me, I imagine you're just as tired of seeing mass-produced slop lining the shelves of your local stores or even craft markets, and instead much prefer actually supporting independent artists who create and craft their own things. A piece of artwork that is the culmination of a lot of time and skill and effort, and often a skill that has taken years, if not decades, for somebody to perfect. And I think for many of us, Etsy was one of the original platforms that came to mind when it comes to handmade and original goods. Hell, I still use Etsy when it comes to certain cosplay items, when it comes to some independent artwork. It can still be a really good place for that kind of craft. However, more and more recently, it has come under increasing scrutiny for the amount of generative AI and drop-shipped slop that is now taking over a space that was originally made for people who were creating their own artworks and products, leaving people wondering where they can go for authentic handmade goods. And so just imagine that one day a friend, imagine having those, I wouldn't know, but imagine one day your friend sends you a TikTok for an independent business. You just so happen to be in the market for a new bag, and coincidentally this particular business makes these beautiful handmade fantasy leather bags. And with just a little bit more digging, you discover that she's a struggling artist, barely able to keep her business afloat. And you think to yourself, what a perfect time to buy a bag. Like, this is great timing. I wanted a new bag. I now have access to this fantastic leather fantasy piece that I'm gonna keep for years. And even better, I get to give my money to a small artist who's hand making it for me. That's a win-win, it's a net positive. And so you go to the link in their bio, which they always mention in these videos, and you end up picking up yourself a not so insignificantly priced £71 handcrafted leather dragon bag, only to discover that you've been the victim of another AI scam. And sadly, videos like these have been popping up all over social media, especially TikTok and Instagram Reels. These emotional, crying, desperate artists who just want to keep their business alive and need your support. They need you to save their failing business. Come on, guys. Be generous. I mean, you wouldn't scroll past a struggling artist, would you? You wouldn't think to yourself, oh, I can get it cheaper on AliExpress or eBay. No, you want to support a real artist, right? And apparently, according to these artists, people are being really mean in their comments as well, insulting the quality of their bag or even how they look. They are having a really rough time, but you could be a bit of a hero in this situation. You could give your hard-earned money to this small business and this struggling artist and make their day that bit better. But dear viewer, what would you say if I told you that all of these desperate, struggling artists who are crying on your For You page are in fact just generative AI? Very quickly cast your mind back to a day where ChatGPT didn't dominate the internet or your workplace inbox. Because like me, you may have actually stumbled across a site full of fake people. This website was called thispersondoesnotexist.com, and every time you refreshed the web page, it would show you a new face of a person that simply doesn't exist. It was a website created by Phil Wang in 2019 using generative adversarial networks, this being a tool developed by NVIDIA to create very convincing AI faces. And I remember when this hit the internet because people were completely astounded as to how realistic some of these people could look, and at times how creepy and cooked some of the other ones could look. Like, these could very easily be used to catfish people. In fact, I'm almost certain people did use these pictures as catfish pictures, even just as a profile icon. But then equally, if you refresh the web page, you could very equally be met with somebody who has a very off-looking ear or half of their face looking very separated from the other side. Most of the time it was very convincing, but sometimes it would come up with these very kind of early stage generative AI faces that could quite often look very uncanny valley. And it's important to remember as well, for as easy as it is to forget, that this just wasn't technology that we'd ever really seen before. Being able to create somebody with the click of a button was just unheard of technology. And in fact, some websites would use the images created on thispersondoesnotexist.com to actually test our ability to differentiate between real human faces and AI faces. You'd end up getting some right, but then you'd also end up getting some wrong, marveled at the fact that you were somehow fooled by algorithms and code. For many of us, this was unserious fun and games, kind of like the Will Smith spaghetti video, but for others, it was a warning for things to come. Little did we realize we'd have to get used to spotting these fake faces, fake products in our day-to-day lives as we simply open social media. And just a couple of years on from 2019, we now have websites fully capable of generating viral videos and clips at the click of a button, as well as completely AI-generated talking people. People who could coincidentally coincidentally be very easily inserted into an advert or made to say whatever you want them to. Platforms like TikTok are now being flooded with these AI influencers, often going undetected, gaining hundreds and thousands of followers, such as the account Go For Anthony, a page that has over 500,000 followers on TikTok and Instagram, dedicated to AI generated videos of a man battling a goat and getting knocked over and bashed around again and again. It's starting to feel a little bit like that movie Idiocracy. Do you remember that one? Some of the AI videos I see and the AI photos I see, I'm like, we're just creeping closer and closer to Idiocracy. Every damn time AI generation comes into the mix, because I feel like we're just, our threshold for humor and what entertains us is just going lower. Like, brain rot is actually a real thing at this stage, because I'm just noticing the decline of humor. It's getting as simple as just going pee-pee and and people just go crazy for it. You can go to the comment section of any given video on Go For Anthony's page and be surprised at the few amount of people commenting on the fact that these are AI videos. Clearly, many people just aren't aware as to how convincing AI generation has gotten over the last couple of years and how easy it is for it to go undetected. And you might be thinking, hey, Addy, it's just a stunt that's AI generated, right? Well, no, every single aspect of these videos are AI generated. Do not be fooled by this person holding the phone, because this person does not exist. Or at least this version of this person might not exist, because it very well could actually be a real human being's likeness that is being co-opted for the content. For whatever reason, many people tend to just plug their faces or the faces of their loved ones, such as their children, into these AI dancing filters or into these AI generation softwares, turning themselves into a content creator who can then go on to make videos at a breakneck pace, promoting the next TikTok shop viral slot, or even worse, a clickable link to a website that you simply can't know or trust. It's genuinely eerie how closely this video resembles a person simply holding their phone, talking to the camera in a convincing, organic human way, turning away from the camera, organically looking to the left and right, and even a little bit of unsteadiness when they hold their phone.
Weirdos on Facebook think I can beat this goat at chicken on a unicycle. Let's see who's boss. Whoa! Facebook's just mean. What's next?
Not to mention the fact that they can talk, and we're not experiencing these bad lip sync dubs that you see in older video games. They look like they're saying the words that are coming out of their mouth. In many cases, it's just something we've not grown the ability to accurately clock yet. And again, it's only getting more and more convincing. Not to mention the state of Facebook, which I think for many is now just a way of keeping in contact with family. It's not used the same way that it was when I was growing up. It's really just Facebook Marketplace and grandparents now. But the state of Facebook is shocking. Like, our parents are cooked. They're watching AI videos of bunnies jumping on a trampoline, or even better, some nice tasty political propaganda with fake immigrants fresh off the boat walking into their Marriott hotel.
This dangerous journey, we survived it. Now, to the 5-star Marriott hotel we are going.
Just bear that in mind next time you're going over for family dinner and you're discussing who you're voting for. And also, just as a tidbit too, there is a lot, and I mean a lot, of AI chatbot pornography, advertisements. We're talking straight up as well. I don't have this algorithm, however, my friend, who is a man, does have this algorithm, and he's been screen recording the things that come up on his phone. Many of these being pretty risque, if not outright hardcore, and actually really scary AI chatbot advertisements, where the chatbot quite literally says, you can put any face you want on me, you can make me look like anyone you know. That's a real thing, by the way, that these chatbots are advertising, and I do feel like I have to point that out right now because that is being advertised to the men that you know. So today's video was sponsored by the beautiful members over on my Patreon, because we don't have a regular sponsor, but we do have our ongoing channel supporters. Starting at $2.50 a month, you can get ad-free and downloadable viewing of all of my publicly available content. And for Otaku and Oshi tier patrons, you also get early access viewing of my content when possible, and of course, additional Patreon exclusive content for those tiers. Some of my most most recent Patreon exclusive content has included an updated office and collection tour, which is over an hour long, as well as my 2 panels from MegaCon London, including one interactive panel that you can play along with whilst you watch. And of course, I have more travel vlogs and other video ideas planned, so stay tuned for that too, because they'll be uploaded and scheduled as we go on. In a time where about 90% of the emails myself and other creators get for sponsorships are AI, stuff like Dollar AI, which are persistent and constant and you can't filter them out, it is really important and it's really, really appreciated to have people actively supporting me, my channel, what I make and create. Your direct support does mean a lot. It does mean the world. So if you can, please consider checking out the Patreon. And one of the latest big trends when it comes to these AI generated influencers is having these crying artists begging people to watch their video and support their craft. Often with footage of them crafting these items, which they then conveniently link in their bio. Usually with some kind of form of on-screen engagement bait as well. Comments such as, people think my work is ugly, people hate the things I make, or even better, they'll try and rely on people virtue signaling by bringing awareness to their race, gender identity, or disability. And you may have seen one of these pages, which goes by the name of Yumi Builds, a woman who claims to be a dwarf living in the countryside crafting these leather bags. So to set the scene, these videos usually start with her on screen crying about some horrible comment that somebody's made about her physical appearance, begging the viewer to stick around and watch to the end of the video to see what she makes. And then we're giving this kind of mishmash of crafting footage, showing that same person making the item, doing the crafting, making us think, oh yeah, that has to be a real person. We're watching her do all of this leather work. And you can start to see around midway through the bag starting to come together, being created. And then at the very end of the video, you see these beautifully handcrafted, colorful dragon leather bags. With this whole video, this whole process being surprisingly consistent. Until you decide to watch another video from Yumi Builds, and you start to notice that the person's face, Yumi's face, is not quite the same in every single video. It just looks a little bit different each time. Or even just small details such as how the necklace that she's wearing doesn't tend to stay the same, that it warps and changes. Or even that Yumi seems to be having an off day in some of these videos, where her voice is weirdly flat and distant compared to some of the other videos that you've seen. Or even just in the background, actually. Like, what is that? But hey, you decide to just keep scrolling for now. You're not that good of a person. You're not going to buy the leather bag. You're going to keep doom scrolling for a while. And then you come across another girl called Dragonspire Guild, selling the same bags, coming out of the same workshop, using the same crafting footage, producing the same items, and even having an eerily identical looking website. If you take these 2 frames side by side, it becomes evident that this is the exact same footage, but with the person in focus being switched out depending on the video. And actually the same here too. But neither of these are the source material. In fact, it's been surprisingly difficult to figure out where this content may have originated from, all assuming that it isn't just entirely AI generated. However, you can find out where the crafting footage was taken from by using Google Lens. And by doing just a little bit of investigation, you can find out that that original footage, at least the crafting footage, comes from Designed by Daydreams, who coincidentally create the exact same leather dragon bags, including a lot of the finished results that you see in the AI videos. And another page called Bearded Dragon Bags also had their footage stolen for these dragon leather bags.
Have you seen a little person from Ireland making dragon bags? Was she claiming she was the one making them? It's all fake. I want to clarify everything, so please stay with me a little bit longer. First of all, this person was generated by AI, so you have been scammed. The original designers of the bag is a team from Poland, Creative All. I have a pattern right here. You can check their website. The pattern is available for purchase for everyone. Originally, it was designed as a belt bag like this one, but we were one of the first to adapt it and made it a regular bag by adding this. Secondly, there is a lot of accounts claiming to be artists. Dragon's Anvil is only one of them, but AI-generated people are taking over the internet. We, I mean me and my wife, Dragon's Manufacturer, fell victims of a content theft, and our videos were used for promotion of a mass-produced dragon bags. If you see some AI-generated people with content stolen from us, please just block them. There is no need to tag us in the comments. We are already overwhelmed by the situation. We will try to build a public awareness of the problem, but we would rather spend our time crafting rather than fighting all the scammers in the world. This is a fight we cannot win. Block and forget. That's the best solution out there. If you really want to help, share our story. Look for the real artists. There are a lot of talented people out there. Real people, just like us.
You can find their real work for sale on Etsy and of course their personal websites. But you might notice that their bags go for a lot more than the standard listing of £30 to £70 on these AI scam websites, with the real bags often costing double, if not more, of their AI counterparts. And I'm not gonna lie, I am not willing to risk my banking information to figure out if these AI scam sites even actually send you a bag at all. But I can only imagine that if you do end up receiving a real item from one of these scammy websites, it very likely will be a dropship item, such as these dragon bags sold on websites like AliExpress, and I can already smell the fishy microplastics from here. Those kind of things with like the PU leather, the fake leather, the pleather, latex, they always stink. They always stink. They always smell really fishy. And the microplastic, oh my god, I can smell them from here. In fact, these dropshipped images are the exact same ones used on the AI scam websites, but they've just been zhuzhed up a little bit for the websites with some AI magic. But I know, ladies and jellybeans, it's not just these dragon bags for sale. It's also belt buckles, bookmarks, jewelry, Lord of the Rings sword replicas. Or what about book wallets? Because there is another one of these AI slop influencers called Hannah's Book Wallets, who is once again crying and begging for people to watch her videos and buy her book wallets. Everyone says her wallets are ugly, but what say you, viewer? Do you stand with Hannah's Book Wallets? Do you? Do you stand with Hannah's book wallets? I mean, she's just a humble woman in her 30s making book wallets from her home. How can anyone say they're ugly? She's gonna go outside and cry in her car now. And she's gonna cry in her house and her bedroom. In fact, she can cry pretty much anywhere that you want her to. And she too has a website where you can buy these book-themed wallets. A website of which looks very similar to these dragon bag ones. And in fact, when you click on the websites for these AI pages, the website layout and the UI looks almost identical every single time. Same layout, same scrolling text at the top, all powered by a Shopify adjacent service called Shrine. But what about the actual product? Like, where has this come from? Well, once again, using Google Lens, we can find out that they actually come from Novel Books wallets, who, just like some of the other sellers we've mentioned, have fallen victim to these AI scams. Going through their social media pages, you can see as far back as 2020 that they were posting this content far before the generative AI capabilities of videos that we have now of these AI scams. And they too have spoken up about the rise of these AI scams.
I've gotten so many DMs from you guys about copycats, about the AI girl Hannah, about Bookashan, about all these accounts that are cropping up on TikTok and Instagram who are using my content and my idea. So if you've bought one of these and you've supported me and then defended me and flagged them and done any of that type of work, I just want to thank you. Thanks for being so supportive. And I am flattered. It is annoying, but that is sort of a part of life and business. But I just want to thank you if you've put in effort to flag them or make a comment and support us and buy book wallets. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me and my little family. Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much.
And of course, Novel Book Wallets actually have their own very legitimate website where they sell these actual book wallets. And so if you are interested in them, go to their actual website and buy them there. And you will actually get a book wallet. I hope. You should do. If anyone's going to give you a book wallet, it's probably going to be them. Like, please just don't get scammed. But you may be sitting there asking yourself, well, Addy, what can be done about this? What can these creators actually do to fight the endless barrage of AI stealing their content, stealing their hard work to scam others? Well, unfortunately, there's not a whole lot they can do, it seems. In both Bearded Dragon Workshops and Novel Book Wallets videos, all they're able to do is suggest that people block and flag these pages and accounts in the hope that TikTok and Instagram will eventually take them down. And outside of that, that's about it. And who's to say that if these pages do get taken down, whoever is behind them won't just spend another 5 minutes on a new prompt creating a brand new account that they'll continue this cycle of AI abuse on, creating 5 more pages with 5 more fake people over and over and over again. Bearded Dragon even wrote, if you see some AI generated people with content stolen from us, please just block them. There is no need to tag us in the comments. We're already overwhelmed by the situation and try to build public awareness, but we want to focus on crafting rather than spending all day fighting scammers. Block and forget is the best option. If you really want to help, share our story, look for the real artists. There are a lot of talented people out there, real people just like us. And again, if you do want to support real artists, if you do want to support these creators, please make sure that you go to their actual websites, their actual social media, and consider buying something from there if it's your kind of thing. Between deepfaking and AI slop, it feels hard to decipher what is real and what is fake. Either real people's videos are being taken, their likeness being used to promote products or endorse certain activities or websites that they never consented to, or are having their videos edited by an AI, having their face or their body swapped out with an entirely new one. A viral video can be entirely replicated with AI and go on to gain over 38 million views. Like this video of a girl dancing promoting her dancing lessons, taken from an original video created by an actual dancing influencer.
Who is that? Because it's not me, but it is my torch, my studio, and my clothes. This account stole my reel making fun of AI and replaced me with AI. And they're trying to sell jewelry with it. Temu jewelry, mind you. And I see this time and time again. People using AI to pose as artists and small businesses hand-making items. AI.
But we also now need to address another part of these videos. The questionable captions that they use to promote their products. I'm not an OF whore, you can keep scrolling. I'm not naked, I'm a real hardworking woman. Giving many of these videos an aggressively anti-SW angle. She didn't have to work hard, all she had to do was take her top off, but not me. I'm not like the other girls. I work hard for a living. Give it a break, like who is this for? It's used again and again, this idea of shaming women's bodies, shaming women's autonomy, but then going on to steal their bodies, steal their content, warp the way that they look for your own personal profit. Women who have not consented to f***ing any of this being turned into digital fascists to sell drop-shipped tat on the internet. I managed to find the original footage for these videos of a goth selling these goth watches. However, I've blurred their face because their content and their profile is no longer public, and the only existing footage of them is only through reposts from those share your goth photo to goth photos on Instagram re-upload pages. You know, all those ones that just steal other people's content and get like 200,000 followers just by reposting hot goth women. But yeah, that's the only kind of outstanding footage of this person left. Their profile is now private. Their content is now private. And again, there might be other reasons as to why this creator decided to lock down their account. I don't want to say with any certainty that this was the reason for them going private. This is just my personal speculation, but of course having their face altered and used in this way could definitely be a factor for it. And when I say altered, I do mean they literally altered her facial features to look what I'm assuming is less Asian and just whitewashed her to just be some generic white woman. Similar enough that she could still have issues if this footage was sent to people at work or if people genuinely thought this was her, but also removing parts of who she is as a person to make them more palatable. I don't know. But they whitewashed her. They got her. And in these posts, they are overlaid with captions saying, I'm not a shirtless girl, you can keep scrolling. And then proceeding to show them deepfaked onto some welding footage. And this poor person has been deepfaked onto multiple different videos, including this weird Walmart footage one as well. And again, they never asked for this. They never consented to having their face, their likeness turned into this bigoted salesperson for a company, for a person that they don't even know or like. And I'd be willing to bet they probably don't even share these beliefs. And all for what? A shitty 60 quid watch that you can buy off of Alibaba for 6 quid? And not to mention those with disabilities or people of colour having their oppression used as a tool to once again peddle this AI narrative and slop to unsuspecting and well-meaning consumers. Appropriating the struggles of people of colour who are living in America, especially at a time like this, in the USA. And shit, they're getting smarter because some of these videos even use our dislike of AI as part of the smoke and mirrors, as part of the trickery. Pretending to be a real breathing human being, a real artist who hates AI just like you, viewer. Even our hatred for this AI slop is being weaponized against us, and many of us don't even know it. We're living in a time where AI is being integrated into more and more of our day-to-day. Whether we like it or not, social media has become entirely infected with it, with last year's memes being tralaleho tralala, or tung 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 sahur, all being AI slop that you can now find on those market stalls in your local city centre. Even websites that are meant to be about creativity, such as Canva, are advertising their AI tools as a way to never have to make a post again. We are charging towards a dead internet at record speed, at breakneck pace, feeding AI slop content to AI bot comments. If you leave a comment down below in this video, how can I even trust that you're real too? Leave a comment down below and see if I can guess. The best hope that we have against this rise of AI is to better educate ourselves about how to spot it. And to be honest, this very well might end up as obsolete advice in the near future because things are rapidly changing all of the time. But for now, here are a few ways that you, dear viewer, can spot an AI video. First of all, check the background of the video. Is it consistent? Does the space or location change when the camera is at different angles within the room or within the space? Are there strange objects or people? Do things blend in with each other at all? Do we have consistent patterns on carpets or curtains? If there is people in the background, look at the faces of those people. Do their faces warp or change? Are they consistent or do they look a little bit weird? Second of all is jewelry. AI struggles to keep up with consistent jewelry even within the same footage. It will sometimes morph into a single clip, or the lines and the details will start to blur and shift and move around. It might look okay at a passing glance, but the closer you look, you'll start to realize that that beautiful locket or pendant is just consistently warping and changing as somebody moves their neck or as the scene changes. Is the necklace consistent across multiple videos, or does it change depending on what you click on? And third are the voices, because the voices within AI videos are something that I'm starting to pick up on a little bit more. They're often quite flat and soulless, and the more that you hear them, the easier it is to tell that they are not quite right.
Here we are, round 9. So welcome to round 34. Hello and welcome to round 21.
They can be inconsistent across multiple videos on the same account, but they can also have this dissonant feeling when paired up with the person who's talking, or even just with the voiceover of what's happening. It can go from sounding a little upbeat to sounding very, very flat. The best way of describing it in a horror sense is you hear somebody screaming from a bush, and you're like, oh, I need to go help them. But then you hear the scream again and the scream sounds the exact same, and you start to realize that that scream isn't a person, it's a recording. That's kind of what AI voices sound like. They're soulless, they're not real. Fourth is the movement. Is the movement too much to be real? Or is it the opposite of the spectrum where the movement is so stiff and stilted and unnatural? It's like somebody's first day having hands. AI struggles to make angry people, and so when people are expressing anger physically, either in their face or in their body movements, they tend to just kind of flap around and flail a lot. They can't really express anger. It's very cartoony. Anger is one of those emotions they're just not very good at capturing. And finally, if in doubt, use reverse searching. It will be your best friend when all else fails when it comes to trying to detect if something could be AI. So you can either take a screenshot of a frame within a video to try and see if that footage exists elsewhere, and if so, if that footage looks different or has a different person in it. And if something has been made using an AI such as Nano Banana, it will carry a synth ID, which is essentially an AI watermark that can be detected and searched with Google Gemini. As silly as it sounds, we do really need to keep our guard up when it comes to how much AI is taking over social media and the spaces that we love to occupy on the internet. We do need to start feeling comfortable telling people in our lives, telling people online, hey, I kind of don't enjoy that AI caricature that you made of grandma, actually. I think it looks kind of shit. You didn't need to post that. Why are you feeding images of our family into this algorithm, to this data that you don't know where it's from? You don't know who owns it. Why are you feeding it this? Educate the family in your life, sometimes who you probably should be calling more, about the scams that AI is starting to spread, because it can very easily catch them out. Some of these things have caught me out. It can be really, really easy at a first glance, and even worse, sometimes you kind of give it a pass because it's funny, but at the end of the day, normalizing this behavior, normalizing using AI is only going to be a net negative. Please just be careful out there, because if something feels off with a product that you're interested in, chances are you could be the victim of an AI scam. Do that little bit of extra research to make sure that that website or that product is real and trustworthy before giving it your banking info, your shipping data, or any of your own personal data either. And as for the people in other videos, I could not find any concrete proof as to whether these were real people who have had the likeness or elements of their likeness taken and used for these adverts, used for these scams, or if these are entirely AI generated people. Again, we're going back to thispersondoesnotexist.com. Some of these people look so real, but could very easily just not exist. But equally, as we've learnt with some of the others, they have actually just been taken from a real human being and used in a way that quite often is unflattering towards their character. If you or somebody that you know has been scammed by an AI product, an AI advertisement, please let me know down below. And equally, if you are one of the people who has had their face or their likeness used in these AI scams, also please let me know down below, because at the end of the day, I think it's important that we start saying, hey, that's actually a real person. Like, we need to start figuring this out kind of quickish, because I have seen many well-respected creators with a big profile who are able to speak up and say, hey, I'm not actually promoting that diet pill. This includes doctors, by the way. I saw a doctor, a TikTok doctor, and he was saying that he had his face used, his likeness used to talk about women's weight loss. And he had to sit there and be like, I don't subscribe to any of this. This is just misogyny and it's dangerous business. But he had his likeness used, and obviously people are going to trust him because he's a doctor. So, and it was convincing too. And so again, if you're a smaller creator, if you're a smaller person, and you've had AI ripping your likeness for whatever means and ends, let us know down below.
I made a video of me eating a burger and fries from In-N-Out, and the text on the screen was just eat the burger, and it was literally supposed to be like body positivity, body neutrality, food neutrality, just like, hey girl, in the rise of all of this really anti-food, anti-body positivity content, let me just like post this because I'm a girl who loves a burger. Tell me why I get a DM from one of my followers that not only has my video been taken, the text removed and new text put on, but it's for a dieting app. I got used as the before for a dieting app, an AI dieting app, which is literally the antithesis of my original video. The video is not even on their page, like you can't go look and find it because they have it as ads only. So it only shows up as you scroll and you just naturally get an ad for this stupid app. Just wanted to come on here and say, fuck AI. Honestly, fuck paid promotion behind dieting ads. And fuck cringe ass AI dieting. Are you kidding me? Cringe. That's cringe. You know what's not cringe? Eating a burger. You know what's not cringe? Fueling your body. This is what it is to be a woman on the internet. Life is worth the living.
There are countless videos online for AI to pull from. It's so easy to find a video of an influencer from 3 to 4 years ago talking about a product that they actually did love and review, and instead replacing it with a drop-shipped item using the power of AI within a matter of seconds or minutes. So many of these AI-generated websites and softwares allow anyone to just create these advertisements at the click of a button entirely for free. Dropshipping companies, online courses, and scams using AI-generated content to fool you and the people in your life. It's kind of no wonder that so many people are starting to put their phone down, put away the DSLR, and instead go back to analog in a trend that is starting to pick up some steam. Although admittedly, that's going to be a topic for another day, because like with anything that TikTok touches or social media touches, it goes from being in earnest to being in earning. But let me know what you think. Have you fallen victim to an AI scam or a drop-shipped scam with an AI generated image that does not meet the reality? I do love seeing those people on TikTok doing the AI versus reality, where they buy something that's clearly an AI generated image and then they review what they actually receive, and it's always some shit. It's always absolute dog shit. So let me know if you've accidentally fallen for one of those. Has somebody in your life accidentally fallen for an AI scam, well-meaning as a Christmas gift maybe, and it never turned up? Or if it did, what did it look like when it arrived in the post? Have you followed an AI influencer without even realizing it? And if so, feel free to name and shame down below. Usually I wouldn't encourage that, but if they're an AI influencer, well, Ain't that just the way? But as always, I want to give a big thank you to my very real patrons, my Oshi and Otaku tier members who support the channel and what I create directly. They got to see this video early, they got to see a bunch of videos early because they support the Patreon, with our Oshi tier members being Nina Hopkins, Falky Gone Missing, Lucy, Shy Raw, Harakivo, Danny16, Sweet Misery, Meryl Lyram, The Galmar, X-Lace_Zale, Cielo Armonia, Neon Ferris Wheel, Florenciaga, Cora Kitty, and Shelby. And as always, our beautiful Otaku tier members on screen as well. We've had a couple more join over the last couple weeks. Thank you very much for joining. If anybody is wondering why they may have subscribed more recently, but this is the first video they've got there on screen or spoken shout out, that is because I'm actually filming all of my videos in bulk over 2 to 3 weeks because I'm taking a month off. So there will still be content. I will try and update it as much as I can. So hopefully it is still up to date, but if it's not, there is a pinned Patreon post just in case, but I wanted to say that in the video just because I was like, I don't want anyone to feel like they're being snubbed. It's just because I'm filming this in bulk. But as always, the cheapest and easiest way of supporting me and what I do, and pretty much any creator, is watching my content. Engage with my content. Put the video on whilst you clean, brush your teeth, go to sleep, do a task. I've seen people rollerblading, crafting, cleaning. People tag me doing these strangest things now at home whilst my video is in the background. If my video can get you through the executive dysfunction and you can get your task done, that is the best possible outcome for both me and you. And of course, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon beside it to never miss an upload, and leave a comment down below and start a discussion. Save the video, share the video, use the hype feature, and if you enjoyed it, go put a little thank you to Robin for doing the research and the writing for today's video. Couldn't have done this without you, diva. Big up Robin, big R in the chat. Big R in the chat. Do Robin. Now it is time for the end of the video outfit check and some of your amazing fan art, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye. Hello. It is time for the end of the video outfit check and some of your amazing fan art. I have changed my hair a little bit, if you couldn't tell. The bangs are babied. Do we like the babied bangs? What do we think? You can see quite a lot of eyebrow. I've kind of got the Jury Han eyebrows, a little kind of stubby brows. What do you think of the babied bangs? We've got like a little black streak. It is black. It's not brown. I think it's just because it's got a light color. It makes it look lighter. We got a little black chunk here. We've gone for like a paler pink. What do we think of the new hair? But anyway, outfit wise, we have these goggles. You've seen them before. They're an AliExpress classic. I've had them for about 6 years now, actually, because it's 2026, isn't it? Not 25, it's 2026. I've had these for about 6 years. These are bomb proof. I take them with me everywhere. I love wearing them. They're so comfy. I do have a vintage thrifted leather pair, but I will say these just sit better, fit better. They're better for a long day of wear because they're really light and flexible. If you do want to get ones like this, I would just say get them from AliExpress, get them from the source rather than overpaying on Amazon. It's the exact same item. If you're going to use them a lot, it makes sense. Next up, we have my safety pin choker, which is from Named Collective. And we also have my razor blade crucifix, which is from Angel Type. Also, I do want to peep the new nails. I got these done by Black Milk Nails. These are so cool. They are they're so cool. Yeah, these are my new nails, my new nail set for now, for the month of March to April. Very, very cunty. And then top wise, I have my Shibitoro top, which I got when I was at Cospa in Akihabara a couple of years ago, I think back in 2024. But I love Shibitoro. I love Siren. I love Dokodemo Isho. I love Toro. I have a Toro tattoo on my leg, but I really like this t-shirt. It's comfy, and obviously I just love the fact that it is the collaboration between Siren and Toro, so, you know, I had to have it. But I did feel like the top was kind of empty on its own without anything else on. I feel weird just being in a t-shirt for some reason. I feel like I'm not dressed up enough. And to be fair, the house is kind of cold because we're cheap. So instead, I have my Named Collective hoodie on. I don't know what the hoodie specifically is called, but this is like probably my favorite hoodie. I have quite a few Named Collective hoodies. I wear them a lot. The quality is really good, I ain't gonna lie. Named Collective, please sponsor me, for the love of God. They're not going to, but like send me something, I beg. But this is a Named Collective hoodie. I do love it very much. It's got a crucifix embroidered on it. It's really, really good quality. I keep saying that, but like I do love Named Collective. I own way too much. They consistently just produce bangers and I have to hold myself back from buying more. But yeah, that's kind of today's today's outfit. Oh, I also have trousers on. These are Minga London trousers, but they're ones that you can take the bottoms off so they can become 3/4 lengths, like jorts. And these I got secondhand on Vinted for like 40 quid, which is pretty good. They're pretty good quality jeans, and because they're quite baggy as well, they're not going to wear away with the chub rub. So I'm quite happy about that because they sit really low. They're low rise. But yeah, that is today's outfit. It's quite a departure from the usual kind of like more girly style that you've probably seen in the last good few videos actually. But yeah, it's nice, comfy, casual. It's only a couple days until I fly away from here to Japan, and so I'm going to be filming in bulk. So if I look tired in any of my videos, that's why. But thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you've enjoyed. Consider checking out the Patreon, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!